One killed, three injured in overnight Sunnyside shooting. This was written by Nick Wills for KDVR.com, published on August 28th, 2022. Denver, Colorado. A man was shot and killed, and a woman and two girls were injured in a shooting at a party in a Sunnyside neighborhood overnight. Pause for a minute. I hope the people who did not die fully recover. There are no such thing as non-life threatening injuries. There are always life-changing injuries, because when somebody is shot, that is a traumatic event. You don't know if this person will need an amputation, if this person will need permanent physiological or psychological help for the rest of their life, or anything related to that. Also, somebody in the comments will come and say, obviously, because America is a very classist, racist, xenophobic place, where they're going to say Sunnyside is a dangerous or bad neighborhood. I don't know if that's true. I'm just presuming that. I don't know if Sunnyside is a bad neighborhood or if it's a good neighborhood, if it's the suburbs or the hood. Does not matter, because all Americans, regardless of their income, where they were born, where they live, deserve to live in a country of peace and dignity and respect. Period. On my channel, I do not tolerate any classist comments saying that a certain neighborhood deserves or it's expected for there to be violence there. The entire country is violent. I cover mass shootings all over the country. I'll continue reading. Denver police responded to reports of a shooting around 12:45 a.m. Sunday morning on the 2700 block of West 42nd Avenue. Officer Nate McGee said it began at a house party and there was a fight that ended with several shots fired. So, I went to a house party last night. I'm making this video in Mauritius, Grand Bay, beautiful Mauritius. Went to a house party last night. Didn't have any threat of violence. It was crowded. It was full of people, full of Nigerians and Mauritians. It was actually a pretty lit party. But I had no threat at all that this party would end in violence. At all. But in America, too many house parties, too many places where we're supposed to gather and congregate and have fun end up with violence. This does not have to be. This does not happen in other countries. Yes, in other countries, people commit violence, people fight. Sometimes people stab each other. But having mass shootings happen at parties is unheard of in most other countries. And I'm making this video in Africa right now. Many Americans think Africa is a dangerous or violent place. But America is looking a lot like the Congo. I was spooked, but you can tell it was gunshots. I went around and locked the doors and checked around my backyard. A neighbor in the Sunnyside area who wants to remain anonymous said. When officers arrived, an adult male and adult female and two juvenile females, had been shot. Police said the man died Sunday afternoon. Sunday, in a Christian nation. Americans love to talk about this is a Christian nation. So let's make the prayer. Our bullet, who art in the chamber, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Kill all of us for the Second Amendment. This is what Americans worship. They love the gun. The gun is God to Americans. I hope the individual involved were okay and nothing is life-threatening. Pete Josetti, who lives nearby, said, I hope it doesn't happen again. But it will happen again, Pete. I'm sorry, Pete. I'm not trying to rain on your parade or rain on your hope. But as long as Americans love the gun and worship the gun, there will continue to be mass shootings. As long as we allow more guns to proliferate in society and permeate in American society, and more gun sales are going up, making these companies that sell these weapons of war even richer. And they continue to lie and lobby the American politicians, telling them to tell the American people that it's their God-given right to have the Second Amendment, and having a gun has always been in the Constitution. It wasn't. They're going to continue. There will continue to be mass shootings in America. Police did not say what the extent of the woman's or girl's injuries was at this point. There were several cops going around the neighborhood with flashlights. They told me to stay inside and lock my doors, a neighbor said. A shelter in place was issued for the area at 1:24 a.m. and was later lifted at 3:33 a.m. So about 2 hours later, everything is cool. After 2 hours of a mass shooting, Americans are like, okay, let's get back to normal, because Americans don't care about this. They don't think that this is actually an endemic problem that needs to be fixed. That it just doesn't ring in the minds of Americans, no matter how many people are killed, no matter how many people get injured, no matter how many people have to pay expensive medical bills for preventable injuries like gunshots. For Americans, this is normal. How sick are we as a nation, a Christian nation, on this Sunday of our Lord? Wow. It is not known whether or not a suspect was taken into custody in connection with this investigation. Anyone with information related to this incident has been asked to contact the Metro Denver Crime Stoppers by calling this number. So, once again, please abolish the Second Amendment. These stories do not get enough attention. They end up only in the local news, in the back pages of websites. But there have been over 520 mass shootings in the United States in 2022 alone, more than 2 per day. Now, for all the Second Amendment advocates, for everybody who loves the gun and think it's their right to have it, go ahead, comment, leave a comment, and say this is uncommon. This is not normal, right? Go ahead, because I get the comments and I read the comments, and a lot of people want to come in and say this is not normal or it's only normal for the bad part of town. But these mass shootings happen everywhere, and it could happen to you. It could happen to all of us. So, I hope the people fully recover. Rest in peace to the person that lost their life. My name is Simon Hill. Thank you for watching.